until midnight, and a flash flood warning until 7:45 p.m. for Washington, D.C. So we are taking a close look at radar, and we're going to put this into motion for you as we continue to go live for you on Facebook, X, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. So I appreciate seeing all of you, and Ron is on YouTube. Thank you very much. Let's make sure that we animate this radar for you. And you can see the flash flood warning. There's an outline in very light green around the beltway above me here. And the darker green shading for the counties, that's the flood watch in effect until midnight. We've got all the latest for you at capitalweather.com. Paul, Alec, Ant, PS, Aldo, Iggy, Bono, thanks for tuning in on Instagram. David, good evening. And the Agog and Ishur, and good evening, Julia. Thanks so much for tuning in. Now, tomorrow, the downpour risk is not zero, but is less than today. So I think fewer instances of rain, storm, showers, downpours, lower flood risk, especially compared to today, but not zero. It's not zero because we do have a cold front coming toward us. Let's look at that. This is the current map, but the low pressure systems and the fronts are slowly smashing into us on the East Coast, moving from west to east over the next 24 hours or so. Now, luckily, the warm front is having a difficult time moving toward us into the region, so that should keep severe weather chances tomorrow at a minimum. Maybe one, maybe two strong storms tomorrow, but that should be it as it looks now. Again, maybe a few downpours, a couple could cause flooding tomorrow, and maybe one or two strong storms tomorrow at most. Luckily, as this cold front heads towards us, the instability lift and moisture are a little bit limited. It could have come together a little bit more robustly, but luckily it does not look like that at this time. The temperatures for this upcoming week are warm and getting warmer by the end of this week. So that's something to keep a note of, that it's going to get, even though the humidity goes down by the middle part of this week, temperatures do go up at the end of this week. All right, chat, comments. Dave, good to see you. Hello, Paul. Heyo. Thanks for the shout outs. Good to see you. And Janet, hello. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook. And good rain, says David, in downtown Silver Spring. C. Cardullo, the humidity is high. Yes, let's talk about the humidity. It is very uncomfortable, to say the least. The heavy, muggy, purple shaded dew points here below are really fighting to stay near us or over us this week for at least through the middle part of this week. I don't have high confidence or high hopes that we're going to see much in the way of a humidity break this week. So let's hope it just gets, we are currently expecting it to get less humid, but not zero humidity. Monday night into Tuesday, I think it's a little bit better for a shorter period of time. The reason that we have rain chances all this week is that the cold front that's trying to push through tomorrow, later tomorrow into tomorrow night, it doesn't completely clear the region. So we have daily storm chances. That is worth reiterating. Luckily, for the most part, they're everyday strength. They're everyday typical summertime thunderstorms that we're expecting. Rain amounts look very healthy, but most of this over the next 7 days is going to be today and tonight, which is why we have a flood watch in effect until midnight for heavy rain falling in a short period of time. And maybe at the end of this week, we have a slight signal for strong severe storms again, and maybe some heavy rain. And overall, for this week, we can't rule out, an isolated single one or two downpours that are heavy, one or two storms that are stronger with gusty winds. So that's worth keeping in the back of your mind. But I think when we think of August, it is typical August summertime storms that are coming our way. And it luckily tamps down a little bit. The rain chances and rain amounts and intensity decrease with time this week overall. But as we said a second ago, there's a chance for a small signal of some strong severe storms for by the end of this week for our region. So hello, Ruth Elisa, and working outdoors most this week. It is very humid, Lewis. I'm hoping to give you a break, but as you may have seen a second ago, it's the dew points are fighting to stay with us. The high, muggy, purple shaded dew points below that are very uncomfortable. We'll see some short breaks, but I don't want to promise much optimism on the humidity front this week. I think behind our cold front, maybe Monday night into Tuesday, we see a brief break. But beyond that, medium confidence at best that we can stay below oppressive levels. Hopefully, dew points closer to 68 instead of 74. That's what I'm hoping for this week. Ryan, Torp, Joey, Dr. AC, and Dan Pregel, Kokuya, and good to see you, Stevie, Beth, T Booth. Thanks so much for tuning in on Instagram. Love seeing so many of you tuning in on Instagram as well. So we're live right now on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X, Facebook. Follow us at Capital Weather on any of those platforms. Download our app on Apple and Android. We're available on both for you. I've had some good reports, good conversations in the recent weeks since our launch. That the app is a big hit, and I'm very happy about that. Steve asks, just how much rain have we gotten recently? 1 to 2 inches is the general amount. How much further do we need to go to catch up on rainfall? I do not believe I loaded that into my presentation. That's a great question. You'll see on our Weather Now page and Climate Room, we have at least a 16-inch deficit over this year to date, I want to say. The drought overall is still here, but not as bad as it was earlier this summer. Yes, we're running a deficit. Available on our climate room pages. Go to capitalweather.com, and I know the answer is there. And I had the graphic earlier, but with the flood watch tonight, I decided to leave that out. But I believe it's around 16 inches a deficit year to date, and then maybe a 23-inch deficit of rainfall for the entire last year, 365 days. Jim, good to see you. Ooh, wow, Steve got a good 2 inches in Culpeper. Hopefully, no flooding, Steve. Let us know. And Jim has some additional showers in Baltimore. Yes, quite humid indeed. Amy, appreciate you seeing you. That's very kind. And David, very heavy rain in Navy Yard. Good to get your report. Breaking the sun breaking through by the Pentagon. Mike says, thanks for tuning in on X. The rain dance has worked. I should probably do some TikTok rain dances when the drop gets flares up a little bit, right, Mike? Good to see you too, Jim. And Ruth Lisa, good to catch up with you. And Debbie, wow, approaching 3 inches in Dumfries, but no flooding that I know of. The soils are very receptive because of our drought, soaking in much of this heavier rain. That is some good news. That flood reports have been fairly isolated, but worth reiterating, a flood watch is in effect until midnight. Flash flood warning in Washington, D.C. proper until 7:45 p.m. You can see that on radar. There's a faint lighter green outline around the Beltway. That's where the flash flood warning is. Where all the rain on radar, that's making it hard to see the outline of the flash flood warning. That's training, repeating the storms, or just repeating their same motion over the 95 and Beltway corridor. That's why a flash flood warning remains in effect there. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Camden Walker for the Capital Weather team. Anytime you need us, we are at capitalweather.com. This is our weekly Sunday 7 p.m. live chat. Anytime you need us, we're at capitalweather.com. And the latest, we have a bunch of latest articles for you. Make sure you check that out. I've got a couple there, some updates. The entire team has been updating. Remember, a human is always at the helm. That's one of our slogans at capitalweather.com. Really quickly, in the medium term, temperatures are still good chance for above average in the next 6 to 10 days or so. Precipitation still leaning above average very slightly over the next 6 to 10 days as well. That's good news for the drought, which is persistent and worse east and well south of town, but luckily around DC. The drought is doing better. It's much less extreme than it was, much less severe. The range of rain amounts this week trending downward with each passing day overall, but you can see a small signal there in the Euro model, I believe, the European model for Tuesday. Could still see a couple downpours this week, even though generally speaking, after tonight's like elevated flooding threat with a flood watch in effect until midnight, we see less signal for flooding and severe weather, at least until maybe the end of this week. There's another conjunction of ingredients coming together maybe at the end of this week for additional flooding downpours and gusty storms with damaging wind gusts potentially. So we'll keep you posted. The amounts of rain still very healthy over the next 7 days, but keep in mind a lot of this is falling through tonight. And then the next batch might wait maybe until the end of the week when rain chances and storm, downpour, and slight severe weather chance elevation happens again at the end of this week as well. And dew points, we were talking about that humidity, maybe a small break Monday night to Tuesday. Don't want to promise the moon. I'm not personally too optimistic. This front that's coming through and instigating some of this flooding tonight, and still a few storms tomorrow, doesn't give us much of a break from these high muggy dew points, maybe Monday night to Tuesday. So we'll see. This front kind of stays near us. You can see hard time, really hard time clearing drier air off of the East Coast. So keep that in mind as the heat builds this week. This front is remaining stubborn, kind of stays close enough to give us those daily, everyday strength, kind of typical summertime thunderstorms. Temperatures are actually going up this week. Humidity briefly goes down before we get into some mid and late week heat, with maybe some 90s back on tap before the work week is over. So that prepare for some heat and intermittent humidity this week as well. Yes, HB Purcell asked what our app is called on Apple and Android. Capital Weather. Please look for Capital Weather Team. You'll find us at, yeah, just search Capital Weather, and it should. We were, higher in rankings and easier to find a few weeks ago, but it's still there. I promise. We have a huge base of readers and users now. Very happy. LC Tigers, good to see you. Simon, Brian, Jackie, thank you so much for tuning in. Oh, you have a nice week too. Hello, Jenny. Thanks for tuning in. And Gator Whack, I'm sorry about the trade with the Nets. Good to see you though on Instagram as well. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Camden Walker for the capitalweather.com team. Anytime you need us, we are at capitalweather.com. We've got a rainbow in Southwest DC paint. Take it with the app on Apple and Android. Remember our app, you can submit a photo near the bottom. Submit that to us. We feature those. Even the current featured photo was from Dave Warren on, he submitted it via our app this past week, I believe. So make sure you see the latest. That's how you get your photo featured. Just take it through the app and submit it to us, and we will be happy to feature that photo for you. Hi, Akara. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook. Railito on X is also seeing the rainbow. That's great news. And great. Debbie's son is home from New Jersey. No reports of flooding. Good to know. Sam, hello. Good to see you. And we've got Lewis. Missed you too on Sundays. Good to see you again as well, Lewis. And Paul, about the same down that way Tuesday through Friday. Add a little extra humidity and a few extra degrees of temperatures. And there's still, yes, definitely some daily rain chances for the most part this week. All right. Luckily, rain intensity diminishes a little bit with time. That's kind of the trend for most of this work week. Every day, typical daily summertime thunderstorms are coming. We've got kind of downpours that are focused mainly through tonight. Midnight is when the flood watch expires, let's hope. And I believe it's still a flash flood warning in DC until 7:45 p.m. Let's refresh this this radar so we can make sure we're getting all the latest information. And I can quickly show you temperatures this week. Let's animate that actually while I have that. You can see temperatures this week are animated below Monday through Saturday. Heat is slowly building. You can kind of get a sense of that. All the different model consensus generally for an uptrend in temperatures by the end of this week. So despite this kind of muggy conditions we have for at least half of this first part of this week, I don't know if we're going to get but a brief break from high muggy dew points in the 70s. Do keep in mind that it's going to get hotter from here. The muggy dew points, the purple shading is what we are really uncomfortable with. We only keep those at bay briefly for parts of this week. So it's going to be hot, going to be humid. So just prepare. It's going to feel like August for the most part. And flooding downpour chances are still marginal tomorrow. So we just want to keep that in the back of our mind, but nothing like we're seeing tonight with that flood watch through midnight. All right. I have got the radar to show you. Let's make sure I update that and animate it for you so you can see. It looks like a flood watch. Yep, still continuing until midnight. The flash flood warning continuing for DC around the Beltway until 7:45 p.m. Love all these chat comments on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, X, and Facebook. Follow us at Capital Weather on all 5 of our social media channels. The app is available on Apple and Android. And do not forget about our shop and to advertise with us. You can email us at advertise@capitalweather.com. A special code, quickly I'll tell you, if you want $7 off your order at our Shopify store at capitalweather.com/store, use the code all lowercase Sundays at 7. If you have a problem with it, I have a limited number of those active, but feel free to go shopping. $7 off by using all lowercase Sundays at 7. We'd love to see you in our store. The merch seems to be making most people very happy, and I think our umbrella is a huge hit. All right, so let's stay dry tonight. Lots of rain coming in, flood watch until midnight. A flash flood warning for DC and the most of the Beltway until 7:45 p.m. So keep that in mind. Please, if you turn around, don't drown. If you encounter water-covered roadways or sidewalks ahead of you, please remember, just turn around. Do not guess how deep the water is and stay safe. Let's continue onward. Let's take down the shop advertisement there for you. And just tell you one more time, this is our weekly Sundays at 7, live from Capital Weather. We're always available at capitalweather.com. A human is always at the helm. Downpour chances for tomorrow luckily decrease. Fewer storms, fewer downpours, less intensity. Maybe one, maybe two strong storms, but nothing that we're really concerned about as the signals look like right now, despite a front coming toward us. Yes, Monkey, Bread on Instagram. This is training when you can see the continuous, like it's a train track, right? Up I-95, right toward the Beltway. The repeated movement of storms over the same area, that is adding up to a lot of rain quickly. 2-3 inch reports are coming in. And just like some days at 7, Janet, that is the code. Oh, I'm so glad you like the water bottle. And Peter, good to see you. Thanks for tuning in on Facebook. And Maureen, you were kayaking, and I'm glad you were safe from the lightning. Very good. Excellent. You were staying safe. For when thunder roars, head indoors. Or if you see lightning without thunder, I'm glad you headed indoors and away out of water. Let's see. Partial clearing west of Baltimore. Thanks for that report, Jim. And good to see you. Oki, Lucy, and Anya, and XT on Instagram, and Rich Hags. Thanks for tuning in on Instagram as well. Very good. All right. So lower down flooding downpour risk tomorrow, but still there just marginally, just worth mentioning. Temperatures this week are slowly heading upward. Humidity is going to kind of stick around. Well, you maybe get a brief break Monday night, Tuesday. I'm not optimistic or have high confidence that we can keep these uncomfortable purple shadings out to sea and drier air moving in from the northwest for us in a consistent manner, but we should have moments and periods of more tolerable humidity. Rain chances this week. Let's first do rain amounts. It's healthy rain amounts, which we can use because the drought does persist, but we're doing pretty okay. We need more rain focusing east and well south of town down towards Charlottesville. But we'll take these rain amounts this week. Again, intensity, downpours, and severity, luckily staying pretty low Monday through Thursday. Maybe we see strong storm chances and flooding downpours again Friday, Saturday. We'll see. It's worth keeping a small eye on that. But let's focus on the near term. We have a lot of rain we're dealing with in the current situation with a flood watch until midnight, and then a flash flood warning for much of the Beltway until 7:45 p.m. Remember, turn around, don't drown. If you encounter a flooded roadway or sidewalk or any path forward, just turn around and don't drown. All right, so rain this week is generally welcome. It's a little too much too quickly this evening, though. But we do expect most of this that you're seeing in this map over projection map over the next 7 days falls through tonight. And then maybe again at the end of the week, we do get another burst of rain, strong to severe storm chances. We'll keep you posted on that as we get closer. In the medium term, temperatures are above average. That's a pretty darn good probability. We continue to be above average in the medium term 6 to 10 day period, and a very slight lean above average precipitation potentially in the next 6 to 10 day period. And we've been talking about the heat. The heat is going to build this week. Maybe some moments of drier, less humid air, but really that's hard to pin down with high confidence. I'm seeing these dew points really want to hug the coast. These really moist, uncomfortable, purple shaded dew points don't really get out of here for much time this week. So we will keep you posted. This front is the main culprit for tonight, for this flood watch in effect until midnight. The warm front is focusing and repeatedly training these storms over the same areas. We're seeing a lot of quick accumulation of rain up the 95 corridor toward the Beltway. Just not getting a break right now. But this flood watch is until midnight, so please stay weather aware. Thank you. Let's see, David, average temperatures are slipping below 90. I think 89 is our average high right now. So that's when we see average. That's a good point. The benchmark for what average is slowly, very, very slowly heading down. So I can still say with good confidence when we see above average temperatures in the 6 to 10 day period with this much confidence and decently high probability, we're still going to be warm. And then when we look at temperatures this week, they are indeed warm to hot and getting hot by the end of this week. And I think I showed you on the temperature ensembles here above that there's general agreement the trend is up for temperatures by the end of this week. So keep that in mind. It is going to feel like summer again with some summertime, everyday strength thunderstorms. Chance for those on a daily basis overall. So keep that in mind in the back of your mind. It's gonna feel like early August, look like early August with rain chances this week continuing. But the good news is that we don't have too much of a downpour, flooding downpour signal after tonight. So tomorrow, marginal chance still, and maybe we do see a couple flooding downpours this week with one or two stronger storms that flare up, but we're waiting to watch the end of the week into the weekend before we see a more organized, more widespread, severe threat worth mentioning. So we'll keep you posted on that as we get closer. Again, temperatures this week warm and getting hotter by the end of this week. All right, I've gone over my 20-minute time. Good to see you. The front is causing all the trouble. We'll slowly try and move out of here for a little moment, I think. Monday night to Tuesday, we'll see if we can keep those dew points offshore. It's going to be pretty uncomfortable for much of this week, but a small break hopefully coming with more tolerable humidity Monday night into Tuesday. Pretty rainy this week, but the bulk of this falls at two periods, the early part through tonight, and then the later part of the 7 day period through maybe the very end of this week into the early part of the weekend when strong storm chances, rain chances, downpour chances come back. So we'll keep you posted. But generally, the intensity, the how numerous these storms are going to be are generally decreasing for much of this work week, and we can still use it. The drought is still around, and I think just make sure you check out capitalweather.com. That's where a human is always at the helm. And Steve, long-term forecast is for maybe heading a little cooler by that point in August, maybe less hot, a little less humid. And Brock, good to see you. Joss and Catherine, good to see you. Dave, good to see you. And Patrick, Patricia, good to see you on YouTube. And David, I'll see you next week. This has been our weekly Sunday 7 p.m. live chat. Remember, our shop also is available at capitalweather.com/store. You can advertise with us by emailing at the address down there, advertise at capitalweather.com. A special $7 off code, all lowercase Sundays at 7. Try that out in the store and let me know if you can get that $7 off to work. I did create a limited number of those, but I will see you next week for our weekly Sunday 7 p.m. live chat. Thanks for tuning in on all of our social media channels, and our Apple and Android app is available. I'm Camden Walker signing off for now.